Okay, I think we've looked at that database in sufficient detail, so let's go back to our master list and see what other databases are available to us, and we're going to do some other searches in history. So we've looked at Academic Search Complete, we've looked at African American History Online. Coming on down, we'll take a look at one other Facts on File database, which is American History Online. Click on that one. And we won't do a search in the box here as we did in the one on African American History Online. What I wanted to do is point out some of these other links to you. Let's say that you're working on a paper in American history, but you're having trouble getting started. And so you're wanting to kind of get some basic information to decide where you might want to go. And you're looking at American history after World War II. So you'll notice we have a topic center here. This may help you narrow down your search. And let's say your professor wants you to write a paper on some topic in American history after World War II. So you might want to look at the 50s or the 60s or the 70s or what have you. And you decide that you may want to do the 60s because you like the music of the 60s and you know that that was the beginning of the counterculture movement and the Beatles and Woodstock, and a lot of things happened in the 60s that are very interesting. So in clicking on that link, we find here that we have other options available to us, one of which is the counterculture. So that would be an excellent link to explore if you want to study what was happening in America with young people protesting against the Vietnam War, the hippie movement, all of that stuff. This gives you an overview of what was going on in the 60s, what we mean by the counterculture, the youth movement, basically, against the established order. And then over here on the right-hand side of the article, you have related biographies of people who were involved in the counterculture. So you may decide that you want to maybe look at one of these biographies and do a little bit more research. Or you may come down and see related events and topics. You may choose the anti-Vietnam War movement, sexual revolution, Woodstock, and then related primary sources. Again, those are things that were written during the period of time. Related videos, you might want to look at a video. So you have, now you have a point where you can develop your paper. You may not be interested in the counterculture. You may want to look at the civil rights movement or the Vietnam War. And you have other people here that you can look at and other primary sources that you can explore. So there's quite a bit there. So I would say that you don't always have to have a topic in mind when you do one of these searches, as long as you kind of have a general idea of where you want to go. The database will do a lot of the work for you, and that's the beauty of Facts on File databases. Okay, so coming on down through our list here, we can see that there are a number of these Facts on File databases: American Indian History Online, American Women's History Online, and so on and so forth. Let's take a look just briefly at A to Z Maps Online. I like this one. Maps always enhance our understanding of a topic, and you'll notice here that we have a modern map collection where we can click on any of these continents and we can see maps of the countries of the world or the regions of the world. But if you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, we have an antique map collection. You can click there, and you have all of these historic maps that are available to you. So this is a great place to go for historic maps. And just coming on down here, we'll look at U.S. state antique maps, and we'll take a look at Georgia as an example. And you'll notice now that we have historic maps of Georgia dating all the way back to the founding of the state. So lots of good things here to look at. If you're doing colonial history of Georgia, and you want to look at the early counties that were formed after the American Revolution, this is an excellent map here. Also, if you're doing Civil War research in Georgia and you want to look at what Georgia looked like in 1864, you can click on this map and it will give you, some really great images there. So I just wanted to point out the map feature to you because I think maps go hand in hand with history. Coming on down, we'll look at History Reference Center. I really like this database. A great catch-all database for all topics of history. You have the option of entering a search term here in the main box, or you can simply narrow the search down to U.S. history or world history. And for the sake of shifting gears here and looking at world history, we'll just click on this little map. And now we can come down and we can look at all the different periods of history in world history. And you may be interested in something from the Middle Ages. So we can take a look here at the Middle Ages. You're taking Western Civ 1, and now it breaks it down for you into various topics. Medieval art and architecture. Great topic there to explore if you're interested in art and architecture from that period of time. Lots of great full-text articles and images. So that's one example of going from general to more specific searches. Or we could go back to the home page. Okay, let's try a specific search in History Reference Center. And because I'm going to be entering more than one term, we won't use the basic search feature. We'll just go to Advanced Search. And we've also got to remember to check the full text box so we get only full text articles and not other things as well. And let's say we are writing a paper about the Black Death, and we're just going to do Black Death and Middle Ages. And now we're going to do a search. And here we have 14 full-text articles dealing with various aspects of the Black Death or the bubonic plague, as it's known today, in these historical articles. And we'll just take a look at one of these as an example. And this is an example of one of the articles, the Northern Province in the later Middle Ages. And there we go. All right, well, there we go. Now it's loading. But that will give you an example of a typical article from that particular database.